Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I think we have a very interesting update on Cardano ADA because, well, the Vasil hard fork is happening today or tomorrow, depends kind of on what time zone you're in, honestly. But for me, it is already today, and I want to let you guys in on a couple of little pieces as to what's going to change and what's going to happen throughout the day. Because things are, well, to make it clear, pretty interesting right now. Take a look at this. So let's take a look at this article here, guys. What Cardano's highly anticipated Vasil hard fork will bring. Vasil delivers an updated version of Cardano's smart contract scripting language, Plutus V2, and we talked about it before. Plutus is basically the native smart contract language. We talked about it before, how basically things are starting to change from here on forward. You have specific epochs with Cardano that come every 5 days, and from here on forward, there's basically a update that was started a couple of days ago that basically lasted 5 days into the next epoch, which is happening tomorrow. They changed their scalability features, or actually a whole list of different things were changed that you don't need to necessarily get too deep into. You just need to understand that a lot of things were changed from here on forward that cannot be reverted, sort of. In terms of smart contracts, in terms of nearly everything, is just going to be a lot more scalable. And basically and this is the most important part about the way that Cardano is doing things, you have to build from the ground up. And Cardano thinks these things out properly beforehand and builds it layer per layer, brick per brick. Right now, they're basically making the fundamentals, the foundation stronger so that over the next couple of years, they can add more on top of it, on top of it, on top of it, which is why it's so important that this upgrade is happening as soon as possible. Now, there's also a specific part you can read right here. Vasil's changes to the Cardano ledger will allow inputs and UTXOs to be used in scripting contracts without actually spending them. In other words, facilitating access to information stored on the blockchain without the need for spending and recreating UTXOs, as was previously the case. A tweak to the way reference scripts are handled allows for a drastic reduction in the size of transactions that run them, where previously this caused processing delays. There's also another extension, which is known as the extended unspent transaction outputs, designed to keep as much functionality of the blockchain as possible. A key feature both when it comes to scaling and in terms of reducing the scope for attacks and security breaches. There's a really interesting quote at that point. Some see blockchains as fully programmable platforms, game engines, databases, and whatnot, but they really aren't. They're ledgers, and they keep track of transactions, said Cardano Technical Director Matthew Bencourt at Betamatang. As such, keeping critical on-chain executions at a minimum is crucial for security and audit processes, he added. So, a lot of people always have this way off between decentralization and the functionality, and honestly, it is always a triangle, right? It's the decentralization triangle, I think is what it's called. In a certain sense, the more safe you want to be for whatever hacks and whatnot, or let's actually make an easier comparison. The more quick and easy and streamlined you want things, the more centralized it has to be. Very often, whatever decision it is, if it's very decentralized, it will take time or it will take multiple parties to agree on something, which might become more difficult, less robust. Keeping a lot of this on-chain, or I guess a lot of the critical data off-chain. Where is it stored exactly? Who is controlling that? People are often scared of this, but in terms of a other side of it, well, if it's not on-chain, so it's not necessarily governed by the on-chain parties, let's say, but it's off-chain, it's a lot more secure because, well, on-chain data, as we've seen before, has an easier time of getting breached than this off-chain data, which is stored at some arbitrary place. There's also a little bit more you can read. Other improvements post-Vasil, although no hard fork is required for this, will include what's known as diffusion pipelining. And pipelining usually is everything that has to do with, in my opinion, the bottlenecking and just the getting stuck of transactions, basically, or the way in which transactions flow. A way of increasing Cardano's speed and scaling potential by compressing some of the idle time by propagating blocks either of their full validation while still validating headers. And the scaling upgrade will streamline the process of sharing information about newly created blocks among network participants by ensuring that blocks can be propagated across the network well within 5 seconds after their creation, according to the blog post. And obviously, all of this is starting tomorrow. At least this next new phase for Cardano is starting tomorrow, and that's why people are so excited about it. We've been waiting for a very long time. In the roadmap, this is a very big dent. So it's just very nice to finally get something that you can kind of check off. You can see here there's a little timeline of when things were set into motion, when things were set into place. A couple of days ago, we got ourselves basically the upgrade going into orbit. And then within a couple of days, or actually tomorrow already, maybe it's actually today, for a lot of you guys, it's going to be tomorrow if you're in America, we have ourselves the actual mainnet, or at least the upgrade getting to mainnet. There were already a couple of different delays, but as of this point, it does not matter anymore. All right. things are finally started and nobody can stop it anymore. It's going. As of this point as well, things are going very smoothly. It doesn't seem as if anything is going wrong. Notice that there's a couple of different pieces at the bottom right here. Notice like, hey, a couple of different links. Let's talk about some arbitrary Cardano news just in the midst. Cardano partners with Georgia's nationwide agency to deploy a traceability solution. Kind of sounds like VeChain in the way in which they're doing things, but that's pretty cool. The fact that Cardano is also working on that, I didn't even know. NFT projects on Cardano on the brink of reaching 7,000 as Vasil hard fork approaches. I also didn't know they were doing that good in terms of NFT projects. 7,000 of them? 459 million volume all time? Top 100 collections worth $616 million? That is absolutely wild. I had absolutely no idea. I mean, I knew there was a lot of volume, but I didn't know it was this significant over on Cardano. That is wild to me. I just noticed I forgot to take off the blur. So if you kind of half saw me the whole video, I'm a little bit sorry about that, but it is what it is. Cardano adds $2 billion to its market cap in a week, as Vasil hard fork date confirmed. Yeah, today was actually a pretty interesting day as well in terms of movement. I think a lot of you guys have actually seen it as of this point. We can hop open a little Cardano chart right here to kind of showcase. Let's just do ADA USDT or whatever. We'd have an ADA USD. Yeah, the price right now over the last couple of minutes has been going down drastically, but I guess it's been mostly following along with Bitcoin's price. And right now, XRP, Bitcoin, every single crypto is coming down as well after a little pump and dump situation earlier today during the FOMC meeting. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting to watch this crypto just fall over the last couple of hours now. Cardano may get accepted at many more million merchants in Brazil following these events. Honestly, this article got me really hyped up. I was really excited to read what it was all about. But it's just regarding the Binance card and potentially MasterCard doing some, but getting accepted over in Brazil and expanding over there. And since Cardano is an option for the Binance card, hence, not too big, not too special. They kind of hype me up. What is, I guess, hype-upable is Snoop Dogg's son rhymes about Cardano. Ripple sends $50 million to an anonymous wallet. Congressional candidate calls Cardano efficient. Couple of different news pieces. So of course, for all you ADA holders, only 2 of these are exciting. But guys, make sure you press that like button if you're a Cardano holder and enjoy this update. So apparently, Snoop Dogg's son was like, you know what? Cardano's pretty cool. Let me rhyme about it. Its main theme being Cardano and its most high-profile NFT project, Claymates. Which is interesting because, well, I just told to you guys about how I didn't know that the Cardano NFT system or ecosystem was this great. And then I guess right now I'm reading an article about how great the NFT ecosystem is on Cardano and how this guy is talking about it. And then apparently, in a recent tweet, January Walker, and I didn't know that was a first name, damn, a congressional candidate and representative of the United Utah Party, interesting, called Cardano an efficient blockchain. She also mentioned Bitcoin in her post, but the largest crypto did not get praise from Walker. Instead, Bitcoin was referred to as an example of an inefficient blockchain. On the first day of the week, the candidate encountered some backlash on Twitter. After writing that blockchains could solve the water crisis, many users did not share her enthusiasm for the cutting-edge technology. However, she explained that it could be possible to enhance sustainability, compliance, and consumption management by integrating blockchains and IoT technologies. And I understand that. There were a couple other parts. For example, Cardano can pay for your flights, track wine, Vasil upgrade looks bright. It's basically the sense that you can pay for nearly anything right now with the way in which these cryptos are interoperating with our traditional financial systems through, for example, BitPay and whatnot. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of these articles are kind of the same thing talking about here. Here's how Cardano will benefit from the Vasil hard fork. We talked about that. Snoop Dogg's son in the new musical article, he's so excited about it. And one I guess that's a little bit more unique is the Vasil update. Cardano DEX TVL up by 565,000% just days after the launch. According to DeFi Llama, ADA Finance, a non-custodial lending protocol on Cardano, has recorded astonishing growth in TVL. At the time of publication, ADA Finance was demonstrating a growth of plus 560,000% in the last 7 days, and I guess up nearly infinitely over the last month potentially. ADA Finance, a first-of-its-kind platform that allows lending and borrowing of native Cardano assets, launched on the Cardano mainnet 7 days ago, precisely September 13th, after months of public testnet use. ADA claims its V1 protocol launch aligns perfectly with the pre-Vasil hard fork sentiment, hence the reason it chose to launch ahead of the anticipated upgrade. At the time of publication, Cardano's TVL was facing a slight decrease of 1% to stand at $79 million. Oh wait, maybe this is 79 million ADA actually. However, with stake in the TVL is recorded at 97.9 million. Apparently, MinSwap is the largest Cardano DEX tracked by DeFi Llama with approximately 41.5 million in TVL. MinSwap retains 42% market dominance as well. But yeah, honestly, I'm not so excited about that or interested in this. It's just interesting to see how the DEX ecosystem on Cardano is growing as well. We talked about it before, how it would most likely grow pretty astonishingly once the stablecoins became a little bit more popular on the platformer. But yeah, just wanted to get you guys in on this update. Cardano launching today, the main upgrade. Very exciting. A lot of people are very happy with this, so I wanted to share it. And yeah, it was not perfectly aligned. That kind of hurts my brain a little bit. Sorry about that. It's all good though. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Take care, guys.